We all know Meghan's just holding out to sell those photos. All she wants, it's another business opportunity for her. It's something the public doesn't have.
Let's cut to the chase. That's not their kids. They haven't got kids, have they?
No,
well, there's a lot of
real.
speculation about that online, about surrogates and all the rest of it. You know, the bottom line is that we can't believe a word this couple say.
Mark, you're not familiar with this show. What just happened is one of our policies. It's
the law.
A very firm what just happened policy is that Harry and Meghan don't actually have children. They've made it up. It's one of our policies.
Well, I got to say, apparently the kids are good-looking, sweet, charming and intelligent, so they're definitely not their kids.
Very good.
Let's talk about Kate. Just Kate. Picture this. The same Kate, perched confidently on a brightly lit Australian morning television couch, the kind of set where every cushion is perfectly fluffed and the air is thick with the scent of hairspray and ambition. Her hair, of course, is perfectly tousled, not a strand out of place, as if she's just stepped out of a salon rather than braved the chaos of a live broadcast. She cradles a pristine coffee cup in her hand, the universal prop of morning show hosts everywhere, signalling both approachability and authority. And then, in a moment that would make even the most seasoned producers raise an eyebrow, she decides that the surest way to keep her name trending in 2025 is to make a declaration so outrageous, so utterly detached from reality, that it instantly commands attention. With the unwavering confidence of someone who has never once experienced the complexities of pregnancy or motherhood, Kate looks directly into the camera, her gaze steady, her voice unwavering, and proclaims, for all of Australia and anyone else watching, that Meghan Sussex, the Duchess of Sussex, mother to Archie Harrison Mountbatten-Windsor and Lilibet Diana Mountbatten-Windsor, does not, in fact, have children. Not that she's a controversial figure, not that her family is often in the headlines. No, Kate's claim is that Meghan's children simply do not exist. Let me type that again slowly, so the sheer absurdity of it can truly sink in. Kate, a woman whose most notable contribution to public discourse seems to be the sheer volume at which she delivers her opinions, stared straight into the camera lens and, with a straight face, announced to the world that Meghan Sussex has no children. Not a slip of the tongue. Not a misinterpretation. A bold, deliberate statement. No children. Not a critique of Meghan's parenting style, or a comment on her family's privacy. Not a subtle jab at royal PR tactics, or a question about how the palace manages its image. No. Just a flat-out denial of reality, delivered with the kind of certainty that only comes from living in a world where facts are optional and controversy is currency. The audience, caught between disbelief and amusement, could only look on, bewildered, as Kate's words hung in the air. An outrageous claim destined to echo far beyond the studio walls. Kate went full moon landing was faked, flat earth, tin-foil hat lunatic, and stated, as if it were a weather report, that two living, breathing, photographed, named on the line of succession children do not exist. That they are, in her expert medical and legal opinion, props, crisis actors, borrowed toddlers, whatever deranged phrase the conspiracy forums are workshopping this week. Kate, darling, let me help you, because clearly no one else in that studio had the spine. Let's start with the facts, shall we? There's been a lot of wild speculation, rumours, and outright conspiracy theories swirling around the births of Meghan and Harry's children. But let's cut through the noise for a moment. If Meghan Sussex does not have children, then who, pray tell, gave birth to Archie on May 6th, 2019 at Portland Hospital in London? This isn't some unsolved mystery or a plot twist from a soap opera. It's a matter of public record, and the details are right there for anyone willing to look. Was it you, Kate? Did you sneak across the world, check into the Lindo wing under a fake name, push for however many hours it takes, and then hand the baby over like some kind of deranged surrogate Santa? The idea is as absurd as it sounds, yet some corners of the internet seem to thrive on this kind of fantasy. The truth is, the royal family has always attracted its share of bizarre theories, but this one really takes the cake. The logistics alone would be impossible, not to mention the sheer number of people involved who would have to keep such a secret. Because the certified birth certificate, the one registered with the General Register Office like every other British citizen, lists Meghan Sussex as the mother. This isn't a tabloid rumour or a social media post, it's an official government document. The process for registering a royal birth is thorough, and the paperwork is scrutinised at every level. If there were any discrepancies, they would have come to light long ago. The birth certificate is clear, and it's legally binding. Not a body double, not a pillow stuffed under a coat. Meghan Sussex. The rumours about fake pregnancies, body doubles, or elaborate disguises are just that. Rumours. They're the stuff of tabloid headlines and internet forums, not reality. Meghan carried her own children, and there's no credible evidence to suggest otherwise. The speculation is not only unfounded, but it's also disrespectful to the real experiences of pregnancy and childbirth. And Lilibet, born June 4th, 2021, at Santa Barbara Cottage Hospital in California. The same questions get recycled, as if repeating them enough times will somehow change the facts. But the reality is straightforward. Lilibet's birth was registered in California, following all the legal protocols required in the United States. The hospital, the staff, and the official records all confirm the same story. Shall we ring the hospital and ask them to confirm whether or not a 5-pound, 11-ounce girl emerged from a cloud of Instagram filters, or from a real delivery room? Hospitals don't just hand out birth certificates for fun. There are strict procedures, and every detail is checked and double-checked. The idea that a birth could be faked in such a setting is simply not credible, or whether an actual woman, Meghan Sussex for the hard of thinking, went through labour again. The answer is obvious to anyone willing to look at the facts. Meghan gave birth to both Archie and Lilibet, just as the official records state. The speculation may make for entertaining gossip, but the truth is far less dramatic and far more human. The doctors were real, the birth announcement was real, the photos released on her first birthday were real, the Christmas card was real, the Netflix docuseries footage of Archie running around their Montecito garden was real. But sure, Kate, keep screeching that none of it happened because you, personally, weren't invited to the delivery room. This isn't harmless banter, this isn't just a laugh. This is a grown woman with a national platform choosing to amplify one of the most unhinged, misogynistic conspiracy theories still crawling around the internet like a cockroach that refuses to die. The same theory that has seen Meghan Sussex's medical records speculated upon, her body photographed and analysed like she's a piece of evidence in a crime she didn't commit. Her pregnancies called fake because certain people decided a woman of colour couldn't possibly be allowed to have it all. The prince, the titles, the children, the happy ending. And Kate, sweetheart, you didn't just dip a toe in this sewer. You cannonballed right in, giggling, while declaring it your policy to believe Meghan Sussex has no children. Policy. As if this is a considered intellectual stance, and not the kind of thing you'd hear shrieked in the comments section of a failed YouTube channel run by someone called Truth Warrior 88. Let's be crystal clear about what you did. You took a mother who has spoken openly about having suicidal ideation while pregnant, who has discussed miscarriage with heartbreaking candour, and you reduced her lived, documented medical reality to a punchline. You took 2 small children who have never asked for any of this, and you turned them into imaginary characters because it gets a cheap laugh from people who have spent 6 years hating a woman for existing while mixed race and happy. Who birthed those children, Kate? Who? Because someone did. Someone was pregnant. Someone went into labour, someone had postpartum hormones and sleepless nights, and the sheer bloody terror of bringing babies into a world that was already screaming for their mother's head on a pike. That someone was Meghan Sussex. Not a stunt double, not a borrowed bump. Meghan Sussex. And the sheer arrogance of you, yes, you who has never met her, never spoken to her, never held her medical file, who sits comfortably behind a screen or in a studio, passing judgment as if you possess some secret insight. You have never walked a day in her shoes, never felt the weight of her responsibilities, nor witnessed the private moments that define her life. Yet you act as if you are the ultimate authority, as if your opinion is fact, and your skepticism is a badge of honour. Sitting there with your smug little smirk, declaring her motherhood fraudulent, is so far beyond the pale it's in another postcode. You are not edgy. You are not just asking questions. You are not bravely challenging the status quo or uncovering some hidden truth. Instead, you are fueling a narrative built on suspicion and innuendo, one that thrives on the humiliation and pain of others. You cloak your words in faux concern, but the reality is far more insidious. You are complicit in a campaign of public shaming, all for the sake of a few cheap headlines and fleeting attention. You are a grown woman with children of your own, choosing to perpetuate a lie that has caused real-world harassment, doxing, and trauma. You know, deep down, the consequences of your words. You know that every rumour you repeat, every accusation you amplify, ripples outward, hurting not just the target, but their family, their friends, and even strangers who see themselves reflected in her struggle. You have the power to stop, to choose empathy over cruelty, but instead you double down, justifying your actions as harmless curiosity or entertainment. You are, quite literally, pouring petrol on a fire that was lit by the ugliest corners of the internet and pretending it's just a bit of light-hearted morning TV chat. But this is not harmless banter. This is not a game. Every time you stoke the flames, you make it harder for the truth to be heard and easier for cruelty to flourish. The damage is real, the pain is lasting, and the responsibility is yours. It's time to recognize the harm and ask yourself, is this really the legacy you want to leave behind?